That was a teaser.
That was a that that was a very sensitive mouse pad is what that was.
Yeah. Well, at least we know everything's working, so that's
That's
awesome.
right.
So we
That's
are
right.
back for the next show Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Central. Today we are all virtual, and we have a full episode for you guys today. We have two guests in the house waiting to come on and join us, and we are super excited. This is our third season, episode 18. And this month we are talking all about sales and your business and how to improve your sales and make more money. Obviously, we all want to be making more money.
Heck yeah.
My name's Tracy Champagne, and I have a business called the Small Business Milwaukee, where we do website design, social media marketing, any kind of digital marketing to help your business get seen online. And my co-host today is Kim Knock. You want to introduce yourself, Miss Kim?
Yeah, I just want to put a little look at that. Tracy Champagne Small Biz MKE. I was
Oh,
trying to
thank
find
you,
it while
thank
you were
you.
talking. I know.
I
I'm
should have
trying,
talked
trying,
longer.
trying. That's no, you did great. Hello, everybody. I am Kim Knock, and I am the founder of Opportunities Knocking. Do a bunch of digital media with Tracy for Small Biz Milwaukee and co-host right now on the Connect Show. So that is me. Boy, has 2023 started out. I don't know about for you, Tracy, but I have gotten a tremendous amount of brand new fun things coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and which is leaving me with a lot to do, but I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we're back in 2022 and we're talking about manifesting and doing all the things, well, the things are happening now. So that's only good. That's
I
what we
love the
wanted.
things. Who do we
Yeah.
have below me? We have Mitch Nellis. You want to just give a little morning shout out? Who you are, what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you. Good morning, Tracy and Kim. Great to be here as always. I'm sure I'm on a little delay because for some reason, the computer really doesn't like Restream. So I'll have to figure that out. All my windows. I was so proud of myself. So to help that out. But I'm here. I run Thunder M. You make some noise and tell your story. And I'm just excited to be here. And you're right, 2023 is here, whether you like it or not. 2023 is here.
Figure it out. Figure it
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mitch. Today, we're really excited to welcome two guests. We have Marianne Carlson and Jane War. We're going to talk all about training, team building, and it's two things we have a lot in common, but can be completely overlooked, right? So
Mm-hmm.
excited for today's guests.
Mm-hmm. And we always like to start our show by thanking our sponsors and our partners. The Connect Show is brought to you by Connect Media Live. We help small businesses reach one to many through social media, video, and web development. If you like to convert from one to one and move to one to many, the tongue twister of the day, Connect Media Live can help. So visit connectmedia.live for more information on that.
And we might be broadcasting virtually, but there is stuff going on still in Studio 85. So we have to thank
Mm-hmm.
our hosting sponsor, Expansive. We don't get any of the good coffee or water today, but I can make my own cup of coffee. Get some all right water. So that's fine. But thank you to Expansive for always being so
Yep.
great to us.
And the Connect Show is a total a total volunteer show. So they are all volunteer. We don't get paid for any of these moving parts to put this Connect Show together. We have a lot of people behind the scenes, John producing, Kim co-hosting, running this event today, Mitch putting together all of our scripts and welcoming our great guests every week. Behind the scenes, doing the social media, doing the graphic design, doing the website, all sorts of things going on just to make this show. So we appreciate everybody's help. If you're interested in joining our clan and getting on board and participating in putting this show together, maybe get us bigger and out there more, we'd love to have you come around and give us your input and your time. We have a email at ideas@theconnectshow.com. If you can email us, we will reach out to you real fast back.
Sounds awesome. And we have to thank our guests again last week, Paul Newberger
Mm-hmm.
and Thomas Schmidt. We learned a lot about cold calling, LinkedIn, religion. Who knew we talk about religion? I almost say that to all of my clients. Keep religion out of your business, but Paul had a way to bring it back in and make it comfortable for everyone, which I loved. And we learned about storytelling, preserving our stories, and that kind of great stuff. Now, how about we hear from Mitch about this week's guests?
All right. Thank you, Kim. Super excited today. We've got a couple. Carlson is here, and she works down the street from me. I'm in Whiteville. Very excited to just kind of wave up and see if she waves back. She went to the University of Cincinnati, which was introduced this week because of the Bills player who got hurt, and so I just noticed that on her LinkedIn profile. But she has been she has a focus on consumer needs. She has a focus on teams and building teams, and so excited to hear all about how she has figured out that secret sauce. She was a Procter and Gamble for 15 years. She really focused on consumer, really focused on putting teams together. And some of the people she follows on LinkedIn, I thought this was really cool. I have a quote from later, Mark Cuban and LeVar Burton. And so LeVar Burton jumped out at me because who doesn't love reading Rainbow? But Marion Carlson, really excited to hear team building and getting people to buy in and reach their full potential. Jane Warr is here also. She is Trainer Jane. She's a leadership trainer. She is going to be joining us from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And she believes in asking for the sale. So ethically, efficiently, and effectively selling. She's a CEO and founder of Selling on the Smart Marketplace. She also has a background in fitness and real estate and accounting. So she's figured out a way to put all those things together and take her career to the next level. She also speaks conversational Hungarian. So just so you know, if you are a guest on the Connect Show, if there's something on your LinkedIn profile that doesn't really talk about your business, but talks about you personally, I'm going to grab onto that because I love highlighting the person that you are. And then I throw it back to Kim and Tracy, and they will read your bio and they will tell everybody about the great things you're doing in the business world. And they will get to interview you and hear about that. I like hearing those human pieces and what makes you, where we find connections and where we find, the humanity of all of us as we're looking to tell our stories and connections. So Kim, Tracy, we've got Jane here. We've got Marianne here. Back to you.
Oh, I'm so excited for these two guests today. I can't wait to pick their brains.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Appreciate it. I can't wait either.
The Connect Show is better. Huh?
I said he always just makes their intro so powerful.
I
love it.
I know. I love it. Connect Show is interactive. So if you are out there on Facebook land, LinkedIn land, or YouTube land and watching this show right now, please put comments in the chat because we will see them and we can address them right here on the show. So we are interactive, and we'd like to hear from you. If you have any questions for our guests, if you have any comments about the discussions that we have today, please put them in the chat and we will address them.
I love it. And Tracy highlighted the volunteers for the Connect Show. We're all here volunteering every week. We love it. However, also, if you have ideas for the show, you can also email ideas@theconnectshow.com because we want to hear we want to know what you guys want to hear about. So we can get the guests to cover that. So thank you so much. And like Tracy said, comment, chat. I'm doing a lot of things, but I'll pull them up. All right.
We're on to our quote of the day, I think.
Yes. I've got it here.
Okay.
All right. It's better to have a
awesome.
great team than a team of greats. And that's from Simon Sinek. I'm going to just leave that up there for a second to marinate. Just leave that up there.
I mean, what if you had a team of greats and the team of greats just didn't get along with each other? I mean, it's better to have all the people getting along, even if they're not quote unquote great, but they're great for your business. I mean, really, it just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. Everyone has their great. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool.
I've just recently started watching some more of his stuff lately. So this is a very fitting quote for me. So let's get started today. Let's get started in some conversation. Our question of the day, and for anybody over there in social media land, if you've got an answer for this question, please put it in the chat and get included in the conversation. So our question today is, what attributes do you believe make up a great leader?
We just had, some great leadership conversations on the show. And finding your ability to have the confidence in your team to let go a little bit, to let your team do their job. And that's really hard, especially as a small business owner, when it's your like proprietary information, right? Like, I don't want to let that go. I developed that, but there's also tools in the industry to save you from someone stealing it, but it's tough to let go of those things. So those are some great attributes when you finally kind of can lift yourself enough to let go and you can work as a team. I kind of worked in a circle there. What do you think?
I totally agree with that. And then I think in addition to that, letting people that you're having work with you or work for you to take the reins of that project, even a step farther than just giving them all the goods, but then even taking the reins on it and to even make it better than what you might have been doing before, and let them have the space to play around with that and lead themselves in that area. I think that is also hard for people as well. But if you can do that, I think that you'll be better for it.
What do you think, Mitch?
So I think that, when I think about leadership, and I think you guys are spot on about letting leaders lead their teams and giving them the power and not micromanaging. But I also think it's the concept of leaders. Hopefully leaders are put in leadership positions and people aren't put in leadership positions who aren't leaders. But there's all sorts of different ways that people can be a great leader. There's leading by example, there's leading by motivating, there's leading by digging in and getting your hands dirty and jumping right in. And I think it's as you're recognizing what your strengths are, but also recognizing what your weaknesses are and asking for help. I think it's of leadership when a leader asks someone else on their leadership team, or even asks someone on their team when they know somebody's better at something than they are. I think that can be a great. So I like I like leading from your strengths, but all weaknesses, and being able to admit that you need help, and that it takes a team to make a great leader.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, delegation is such a big, 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 hard thing. It's a big, hard thing. And I struggled with it when I first was a manager for, a number of employees. And I was like, well, I'll just fix the problem. Well, no, that's not giving them the confidence to ever want to do it again. So we learned a lot about this.
And then I guess you have to, and then there's the part about, okay, so now you're getting better at giving away all the stuff and letting them do their mistakes and everything. And then there's the mistakes of maybe not picking the right people for those projects. And then you've got to start over again and get a different person. Oh, yeah. So you invest your time and stuff into one person, and all of a sudden their situation changes and then they leave. And then you've got to invest in another person and another person. And yeah, it's like, it's challenging, but I think the better skills you have as a leader, you'll be able to handle all of those changes that are going to probably happen. for everybody.
And identify the not so great people in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
having the confidence
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do we
today,
have
so
any?
far, nope, it's not
Nope.
Jon running the chat, and we've got nothing.
Okay.
Put our little flap up. If you are on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, your comments will come right into our chats. And I saw Mitch even put something on LinkedIn saying what our question of the day was. So I got to see that little chat.
Awesome.
So thanks, Mitch, for
Awesome.
that one. But yeah, definitely. If we don't have anything else, we can go ahead and get started and bring on our first guest, Jane War. So I am
Awesome.
going to say bye-bye to Mitch. And as our next guests come up, please definitely feel free to still comment in the chat, interact with them. And if you have questions for them, we'll get them in the chat. Bye, Mitch.
Bye, Mitch. See you later. So our first guest today is Jane War, also known as Trainer Jane. She's an award-winning communication and sales trainer, 5 times international best-selling author, and international speaker. She is the founder and CEO of Selling on the Spot Incorporated, a global business training company. Selling on the Spot is the most known for their fun and profitable selling on the spot marketplace events held in person and online. Interesting.
Selling on the Spot provides a powerful platform for any business owner to market and sell their products and services, focusing on selling ethically, efficiently, and effectively. I like the Jane has grown selling on the Spot brand for over 7 years. Her mission is to help millions of entrepreneurs and business owners around the world to embrace the sales process, making sales fun and easy. Jane is also a real estate investor and proud mom of two amazing young adults. So we are going to bring up Jane.
There she is.
Hello, Jane.
Hello. How are you?
Great.
Thank you so much for
Good
having
morning, good
me.
morning. Yes, we're so glad you were able to come on today. So we want to bring the question back to you also is what is our question again? What attributes make up what was our question again?
What attributes do you believe make a great leader?
Okay. Yes.
Fantastic question. Yes, thank you. My head certainly went to somebody with high emotional intelligence. That is something that I have trained for years and years, meaning for somebody to, as a leader, have the awareness to, excuse me, I'm still getting over
No
this
worries.
cough that's going around. To have self-awareness as well as the ability to have self-manage in any situation in this regard with a team, and the social awareness within the team or whoever they're a leader with, and the relationship skills to manage all of that. So that makes me think of listening skills and assertiveness skills. There's so much to emotional intelligence, and the more I feel that somebody trains on that, the better leader they would become.
That's fantastic. All right. We're going to make this. We want to make the screen look a little bit better for you. So it's more about you. We want it to be more.
I figure which way to sit now.
Yeah, no, you're good.
There you go.
Perfect. So why did you start your company?
Oh, thank you for asking. So I actually started it 8 years ago. At the time, I was living in Ajax, Ontario, Canada, which is kind of suburbia of Toronto. And we had a lot of amazing networking events there already. And what I found, though, was they were limited in some ways. Some might have been women's only. Some might have said, well, we're a networking event, but you're not allowed to do business. And so they were social situations and they were fun and they served a purpose. Some even said you can't exchange business cards. And I thought, I really want to serve my community, help the members of the community, not just women, but men and women. And in our company, we do have an inclusive community and aren't gender specific. And I wanted to serve all, also meaning any business type. So Again, some companies will say one company per industry only, or no multi-level marketing, network marketing, direct sales allowed. We want everybody that is a business owner to be able to embrace our platform and come and do business. So that was how I originally started, as well as because I am a sales trainer and a communications trainer, I really care about how can I help anyone improve their skills. So I also looked at trade shows. Now, you've probably gone to a trade show before where the person doesn't even look like they care to be there. They're sitting on a chair, they're on their cell phone, they're not even paying attention to you. Personally, I don't care to give them my business, or I might buy from them if I really want their product or service, but I really care about relationship building and that human connection. And so again, that definitely became part of our events, selling on the spot marketplace, in-person events, which is how we originally started, was that community feel, relationship building, but not being shy to ask for the sale. The company is actually called Selling on the Spot to have everybody embrace the sales process. And from that came the tagline that is selling ethically, efficiently, and effectively.
That's awesome. So are you doing a bunch of these events then virtually?
Yeah,
then
so
as well now as well as in person?
We fortunately had I had the foresight of going on to Zoom early. We had a great Canadian winter storm coming in, and I told everybody don't drive in, because at that point it was just literally me putting on the events in that one area, and people were driving up to 4 hours to come to these events that I was putting on. And I said, stay home, stay safe. We're all going to jump on Zoom and we'll do the best we can. And I edited the PowerPoint overnight and the whole bit. And we had a fantastic event, and I just knew it, or I had created something at that point in time. Held a second one, kind of beta testing. So when COVID happened, we went into lockdown. It became a marketing play for us. I just said, we're so ready. We just need the people to know that we're ready, and have them start coming to us. So yeah, we've been on Zoom all these years, and now we're slowly going back to in-person events as well. One city, one province, state, and country at a time.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool. That is, Tracy and I both do networking events, and it's we have a very similar mindset. It's not about singling someone out. You are the only one allowed to come for that. It's all about those relationships. We both believe 100% in that. So
well, people buy into the person, not just what they're actually selling.
Exactly.
So even if two people came with the same product or service or from a same company type, they're not going to present it the same way. They're not going to present themselves the same way, in which case you might say yes to one and no to the other, and that's fine. And certainly in our capacity is make that relationship and choose if you want to move forward or not. But again, if you yourself present yourself well, then even if they don't buy from you, they've built a connection with you, and they might choose to do business with you in the future. They may choose to refer you, give you a testimonial, whatever business is meant to come from it, whenever.
So are your events then part of like a subscription base, or are they just all free to anybody?
No, they're actually not free, deliberately, because guess what? We teach selling. So it is a licensing model or a franchise model. So I proudly have a team of franchisees, I'll use that word, or licensees, that also hold the events, and they sell tickets. So you must purchase a ticket to attend. The other reason that we have it that way is because, as you probably know, when you put on a free event, not everybody shows up. We want to make sure that they have something invested in both time and financially, that they're probably going to show up. They're going to stay for the 2-hour online event that we hold, and they're invested in that way, right? A bit more serious business owners generally come, right? They want to get their return on investment. So they're really going to think about how should they present, what should they present, how many sales are they looking to get out of our event that day.
Interesting.
I like it.
I think we should all go check that out, everybody.
Please.
We should all go check that out. So how do we all make selling ethical? That is a fantastic question, because we had a salesperson on last week, and I think we touched a little bit on that too, because there is the slimy sales, and then there's the sales where you actually feel comfortable buying from somebody. So how do we make it ethical?
Sure. Well, it really is, again, about relationship selling and making sure that both parties, if there were two individuals, are interested in having the conversation in the first place. So again, when you go to some networking events, some people like jump on you, and that's why it feels salesy, because you weren't expecting to hear a pitch, or you weren't open to hear a presentation yet. We use the word presentations because they're ethical. So the difference, again, at selling on the spot marketplace is everybody is presenting, and therefore there is that feeling of safety or comfort, because you know you're about to hear other people's presentations and other people are open to hearing your presentation. So that's already the first step of being ethical. Both or all parties are involved. The next part is, of course, for the other party to be interested in your presentation, meaning you need to be interesting, right? How do you interest them? How do you intrigue them? What words would you say? But it's also what visual or vocal intonation are you using to capture that person's interest and hold their interest to listen to your entire presentation. The next part is to be informative. So giving enough information to, again, keep holding their interest, answering the kind of questions that they probably have going on in their heads, but not over speaking, not overselling. Again, it feels salesy when they just feel like they're putting as many features and benefits and not why we buy, not focusing on the individual or individuals that we are speaking to. And then next, it is about the person feeling convinced that they are interested in your product or service. That doesn't mean to be convincing in the kind of negative conversation, excuse me, the meaning of that word, but that they feel convinced that they need it, they want it. And so they're waiting to then hear either a price or how to move forward with whatever product or service somebody is offering. And then the last part, for sure, of being ethical is not just ending the conversation there or ending the dialogue because you feel uncomfortable and not asking for the sale, but deliberately asking for the sale. So when I started selling on the spot marketplace, you always use the example of a book. Whether somebody is an author or not, just let's go along with that as an example. Let's say that normally on Amazon, you could buy that same book for $27. But today at selling on the spot marketplace, I have it here for reduced rate because you're looking to get as many people to say yes as possible. And I might say it, and today it's $20. Would you like one? A huge number of entrepreneurs, business owners, and even sales professionals are so uncomfortable. They may not even be conscious of the fact that they don't ask for the sale. But that time to, whether in person or online, to say, would you like one? Or can we book an appointment, is critical. Why would somebody say yes or take the next step unless they're being asked? And that's a skill that we practice at selling on the spot marketplace, because some people will come and say, oh, well, I'm speaking to 20 people. I'm speaking to 25 people. How do I ask for the sale? Same way. Maybe you literally look in the eyes of one individual. So that you feel like you're presenting to only one, even though you're speaking to a group, and not saying, do you guys want one? It doesn't feel individual. It doesn't feel comfortable. I'm not a you guys. You're not a you guys. Why would I speak to you that way?
Right.
And so again, that is all about the relationship building, feeling as if even in this online world, speaking through technology is how can we build that connection and maintain the connection the whole time? Why would you ever skip asking for the sale in the sales process?
I'm actually kind of thankful for that world now because I did build some absolutely fabulous relationships when I was forced to be like, okay, no, I mean, I've done virtual events for many years prior to the pandemic, not really realizing what I was doing at the time. And then it was like, "Ooh, I already know how to use Zoom." Like I can get in and on these people that, have these same mindsets as me too, and we can be powerhouses together. And man, did I build some relationships that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
An amazing referral base too.
So much can come from all of this. So much collaborations,
Mhm.
relationships, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never even have to set foot into a real in life person meeting ever again, actually, and have a very thriving business, I think. I mean,
Very
you just
true.
might want to do that, but like for your own emotional health, but financially you could totally succeed just completely online, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And
Mhm.
that's something that we certainly help people with, because as quickly as people could pivot, especially in year one, I mean, we're almost at 3 full years since the pandemic began.
Crazy.
But within months, we were very, very actively helping people, if they hadn't pivoted yet, to pivot. What were they
Mhm.
selling? What product, one service, what package? Because maybe it's a bundle of products, maybe it's a product and a service. And even selling, I also want to mention, is not always about a price point, right? Again, we're
Mhm.
selling ourselves. It might be selling into a free consultation, because somebody still needs to, again, go through those steps of ethical influence to be influenced into saying yes to a complimentary consultation. Now you want my time. You're not asking for my money, but you're asking for my time to meet with you in a consultation, right? That's very valuable. So it's important to learn all these skills and embrace that this is an online world. Us too. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to stop doing the online version of selling on the spot marketplace just because we're going back to in person. It's back to in person, as well as there's definitely different benefits of each platform.
I agree, because
Yeah.
you get enough of Zoom for a little bit, you get to go to in person, then you get enough of being in the big crowd, and I feel like I get a little bit more one-on-one interaction, weird oddly enough, with Zoom, even though I'm face to face with people. It's kind of interesting, but
Mhm. Well, for us, for sure, it
Yeah.
grew our reach, because again, we started this all in Toronto, Canada.
mhm.
We went into licensing before COVID, into the US. We actually went into Iceland. One of my franchise or license partners was in Iceland, and then Denmark and a few other countries we opened up in. But through the online platform, because it really doesn't matter where anybody is located, as long as the time of day works for them after
Yeah.
converting to their time zone, we've actually had participants from 41 countries around the world that have attended our
Wow.
event. And of course, we're very pleased.
Congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
thank
That's
you, thank you.
fabulous.
So for those that have a product or a service that they want to grow into further regions, and as long as obviously language isn't a barrier, and the currency isn't a barrier, that then business can be done through our events that way. And we love, again, helping people grow their business, whether they're looking for in their community only, or again, their province or state, country, or globally.
So cool.
Awesome.
So do
Awesome.
you offer other networking events or learning opportunities?
Yes, thank you. We are a training company. So selling on the spot marketplace is what started us all, meaning that we only had that one division. That's our wording at the time. We now have a marketing division, a media training division. We actually have 10 divisions to serve everyone. So we are a hub for you to come to for whatever you're looking for. So for example, we have a YouTube training that's coming up soon. We have a Facebook training that's coming up soon, so that we're not just the marketplace where you can sell your products and services at, but you can also come to us for other training that is business related, mindset related, finance related, so much more. As well as, of course, we have a free community on Facebook. We have a membership platform, an affiliate platform, so that people can affiliate our events and earn generous commissions as well. So there's so much more. We're always looking at what does our global community want. We certainly survey them and then look at, therefore, how can we build that? So we have a new platform. We have all sorts of new things coming up in the next 2 months to serve everybody even better.
That is so cool. You all have a
Yeah.
lot to offer in this short period of time. I feel like there's so
I
much
don't
more
think
that
we're
could be
going
dug
covering.
into, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I really thank you for joining us on the show today, on behalf of Jon and Tracy as well. Do you have any offers or events or anything that you want to share with our community, even after they watch the show today?
Perfect. Thank you for that. Several, but just really briefly, the next time I'm facilitating an event will be Wednesday, January the 18th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, you can find our information on sellingonthespotmarketplace.com. But we also have 2 really big launches coming up. We have a Chrome extension, so especially for those of you that love LinkedIn, which we do, then please join us January 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and a launch on February 27th. So big, we haven't even announced what it is publicly. But please join us, because if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or sales professional, I promise, you want to be there, because we are there to serve you and connect you globally with other business owners.
Very,
Oh.
very, very cool. Thank you so much. We also have a page on our website for you, which is theconnectshow.com/Jane War, and that's with 2 R's. But yeah, thank you so much again for joining us, Jane, and I look forward to continuing to be connected with you.
If I may say, first of all, thank you for
Absolutely.
pronouncing my name correctly. Almost no one ever does.
No? How did I say it?
I know, I was tempted to say war.
Oh,
Almost
okay.
everybody says
War.
either war or
Yeah.
where, and then I realized I didn't prep you, and I'm like, oh, let's see how this goes. So that's okay. But I also want to give a shout out to Mitch for doing his research on my background in LinkedIn. That I was thrilled and I was honored by that. And by the way, what's not written on LinkedIn is I do have relatives in Wisconsin. So yay, and shout out to them.
Yay. Yay.
Nice.
Excellent. Shout out to your Wisconsin family and friends.
That's right.
Thanks again.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming on today.
Wrong button again.
Oof, I gotta go check out all of her stuff now even more.
I know, right? That one might be what we need later. Okay, sorry. It's been a little bit since I've had to do the restream. So
do we have a
we'll transition into
video?
our next. Nope, we'll just transition right on into our next guest since we're virtual. Makes life a little bit easier. And up next, we have Mary Ann Carlson. Mary Ann relies upon her diverse and consistent career of outstanding results, coupled with amazing tools, coaching, and resources to allow her to teach others how to build both a successful team and a meaningful life. She believes in creating positive, sustainable transformations for a healthy life, both physically and financially. 2 important F's. We had E's in the last one. We got F's in this one. And that we all will achieve the success we desire.
Mary Ann is the president of Simple Success Incorporated, where she coaches individuals to live healthier lifestyles physically and or financially. We have the tools and the resources to help you achieve your dream. If you have the dream, Mary Ann can help you make the plan. So welcome, Mary Ann, to the show.
Let's bring her on up. And I'm going to try one thing quickly. Let's see if that works. That makes us pretty small, but that's okay. We'll make it work.
Looks okay, I think. Yeah.
We'll make it work. All right. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mary Ann is a local Milwaukeean, by the way, Kim.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to go back to our original question of the day. What attributes do you think make up a great leader?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I loved everybody's answers and the conversation. 2 things came to my mind. One is servant leadership. I'm a big proponent of servant leadership. And I think some of those qualities of a servant leader you all discussed about how you support and grow your teams and make sure their needs are being met, but also delivering on the results that you want the organization to have. But the other piece of it is putting a leader in place who creates that vision and the direction and the roadmap for the organization to follow. For me, that's really a key role. And not everybody has those attributes. Some of it can be learned, but and then converting that vision into a strategic plan and tactics that people can execute effectively. So those are things that I think are important from a leadership standpoint that I've seen create success in many organizations.
You just wrapped it all up in a pretty little bow, and I like it. Kind of everything we all said the whole time, and you just ended it beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your business. What is your main focus of your business, and what kind of services are you providing people?
So a little bit about what we just talked about. I have I guess the overall blanket is organizational effectiveness. And that's a big umbrella because for some people that means their own personal organization, their own planning. For some people, that means they're a huge organization. So I've worked with, very, very large organizations and, laying out 5-10-year plans, helping create visions and values and principles, and how does that then translate to every individual in that organization. So it's a wide-ranging concept, but it can be very finite. So from an individual perspective or a small business owner, how do I really know where I'm going? And then how do I effectively get there? Because we can have an idea of what we want, but we often spin around sometimes in trying to get to that place because there's so many choices, right? How do we lay out all the potential choices, and then how do we choose the one we're really going to focus on, and then how do we deliver that? So, there's a lot there around desire, and there's my husband.
Hello, husband.
How do we relate to creating that success plan? So that's what I help people with. And again, that can be a very much one-on-one plan, or it can be for a small business. It can be for nonprofits. It can be for large organizations. I've worked with every type of business out there. So
that's
cool.
Super important. Yeah.
So how do you maintain the long-term business with your customer? What is your specialty in maintaining that?
It's such an interesting piece because there is an end. I mean, for me, there's a hope there's an end to that work, right? With any client. Because then I know I've kind of launched them. It's like your children, like, you get them to a point and you launch them into the world. So, but once I understand their goals and objectives, I have in my mind about how long that will take them and how to transition them to that place. And it's all about relationship. It's a little bit about what Jane was talking about. It's about relationship. It's about sitting on the same side of the desk as your client and being in their shoes, helping them achieve what they want, and then letting them know that that's really what we're going to do. We're going to create a plan so that they have long-term success without me being involved. What that develops, though, is amazing relationships and referrals. So as I told Tracy the other day, I've never had a website. I've never had a business card. And it's all because of this referral plan. So
Tracy, how did you respond to that? Never having a website.
Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. But that is the power of because really you could totally do your business by referral marketing and just talking to people and never really needing a website or anything. But since everything has come about, everybody has felt like, oh, you absolutely need to have it. But it really depends on your business. Sometimes your business doesn't need those things, because if you're accomplishing your goals without it, then you don't need it. And if you're only trying to get to one financial level, and if you can achieve that without having a billion clients and getting more through a website, then I think there's no need for the website.
Yeah.
Because that's really what the need of a website is, to reach a ton of people. And if your business allows you to gain your financial goals without that, then don't have one.
Right.
Yeah.
By all means. By all means. So what's one major piece of advice you would give those building their businesses?
I would tell people not to force their own personal goals and objectives on their clients. Oftentimes we act out of either our goal-driven, goal-motivated, premise, or fear, or whatever it is, and we want our goals and objectives to be the client's goals and objectives. And that's not always the case. I would encourage people to ensure there's alignment, because if you don't have alignment with what the customer wants and where you're going, then that's not the right customer for you.
Exactly.
It's not a good fit, right? And be able to walk away from things that have potential and try to make, a square peg fit a round hole, because it's always going to cause problems. And there's always going to, things, even as far as distrust, can occur in those kind of circumstances.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
which nobody wants that,
Mm-mm.
right? But you're better off being honest and referring that potential client to someone who can meet their needs
Right.
and building that relationship that way. And kind of like the miracle on 34th Street, right? When Santa Claus told everybody to go shop other places. Because you're going to build a good relationship. And then down the road, if that client, now they understand who you are, then they understand what your company can do. They're going to come to you when there's a fit.
Right.
Because you've helped them be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
even if the
I would
successful
just say,
means that you're not the client for them, you were able to help them. I help them identify that their needs and what you can offer them aren't a good fit. If you can help them
exactly.
identify that, you're still being successful.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And they will,
And
it will come back.
and just to branch off of that just a little bit, Kim and I both do a lot of digital media for clients, and we have a lot of clients that don't understand how digital media works, and we can kind of foresee it a little bit farther than they can. So I think what Kim and I try to do a lot is we'll offer like a suggestion or a story for them to tell them this is how we think you should do it, but ultimately it's your business, so you have to make these decisions yourself. But you, from in my experience, having this option or doing this option will lead you into this direction. Do you want to go that direction? Or having those kind of conversations to keep, like you said, stay in alignment, I think is really important in that client relationship.
Yeah, and you're the expert, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you giving them ideas about understanding how they can leverage you is absolutely critical.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're in those conversations, you know when it's not aligned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll know before they will.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Marianne. I totally appreciate it.
What
It
a
was so much
pleasure.
fun having you.
Yeah,
Do you
thank
have
you so
any?
much.
Do you have any specials or gifts? Any specials or offers for the audience today? I don't know where that word came from.
I think that was a combination of guests and gifts.
And gifts? I know. I don't know, because I wasn't going to say gifts, but do you have any specials or offers for the audience today? Anything that you want to tell anybody about that you've got coming up that maybe they can attend or?
Yeah, I'm always happy to have a free consultation with people. So if people are like, well, what does this mean? Or how could this work? Or, I'm happy to do that. Again, because I have such a deep value in understanding people's goals, objectives, what they're really trying to accomplish. I can pull out my tools and resources better in a one-on-one conversation than something just broad in general. But yeah, if someone would like to do that, I'd love for them to contact me and I'd be happy to set up time to do that.
That's wonderful. And we do have a page for you on the website, theconnectshow.com/Mary Ann Carlson. So everybody who wants to learn more about her, visit her LinkedIn page or reach out to her. You can get a hold of her through there. And that was great today. I'm so glad you came on. And just so everybody knows, Mary Ann and I have been working ferociously for the last couple of days because we had a previous guest come on, but they were not able to make it. So Mary Ann was able to scramble and get herself on the show today. So I totally appreciate that last minute
Thank
and
you.
getting all of our information to us and stuff like that. So just wanted to say thank you for that so much.
That's very nice. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You're doing great work and helping a lot of people. So this is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Great to have you today.
All right. Well, you guys have a great week.
You as well. I think I cut her a little early. Sorry about that.
Well, I think she was good. I think she was just at the end of her wave when you got her.
I think so.
Yeah.
So today was what a great show today. And what I heard from both ladies that you and I talk about it all the time, relationships. It's on so many of Small Business Milwaukee's networking calls. That topic comes up. And it's just interesting. I feel like we're starting a fresh year. Let's start with those relationships. Everybody knows I'm going to even put it here. My favorite hashtag is collaboration, not competition. So
she owns that hashtag.
I love that hashtag. I use it. You are welcome to use it. Let's see how we're collaborating together. I don't own it, but I own it.
Yeah.
But honestly, find a way to build relationships, and we're going to continue with our events. Tracy and I are,
Mhm.
and helping make that market happen for people all over the country and all over Wisconsin. So
And I love all of the leadership and sales training advice that we were given today on how to, with sales, making sure that we're going to get ourselves out there and ask for the sale, put ourselves in a position to actually ask for it. And that takes a lot of practice. And not a lot of entrepreneurs, when they're first starting their business, they're just so worried about creating the product, having their marketing in place, doing all the things. And then, oh, now I got to actually like learn relationships and try to sell the product, which isn't always first on entrepreneurs' minds when they're building a business. So that was a great thing to remember. And I love all the leadership points away from today. There's so many different aspects to leadership that like that's a whole thing you can study in itself. Leadership.
I did a lot of college study on it, and a lot of it really boils down to the main hits that we all talked about today. Really, entire college courses to go through and take all of that to really sum it up into a few very simple points, but important points. Like
Mm-hmm.
they seem simple, but they're so hard for people to give up. So
Mm-hmm.
I loved
Mm-hmm.
today's show. It was great.
And it's definitely both of them, leadership and sales, both skills, things that you just continually learn and work at all the time and try to get better and better and better. But that's why we have people like our two guests today, because they offer the training that we need to help us learn. So if you're looking to
Absolutely.
learn
And
those
sales scare
things,
me.
yep.
So I don't like to be annoying, or so to be able to sell without selling is like how I like to do it, because I don't want to be pushy, and I'm too sensitive to be like, oh God, no, like I've got to ask for this. It's embarrassing, So
Mm-hmm,
getting
mm-hmm,
over those struggles
mm-hmm.
is very difficult. But when you make a sale by doing some of these key things that people are talking about, it feels so good. And I
Yeah.
think it erases some of your fears. Like you get past that first hurdle and it erases some of the
Mm-hmm,
fears.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
each one gets a little better and better. So
Yeah. So awesome show today. So much great information. So we want to thank all of our volunteers helping out today. Again, talking about doing all the stuff behind the scenes to get this show up and running. And we're excited for our show next week, which we have Gregory Dobbs and Lisa Gregg. And I believe we are in studio next week. So
excellent.
totally different atmosphere, but same great content. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us on the show today. Great show. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to our volunteers. And thank you to those that are watching even currently now or watching the replay. We're happy to have you share this information with your friends, because everyone here has something to give, and
Mm-hmm.
most of them are more than happy to speak with you after the show. And we have links for all previous guests on theconnectshow.com. You can find that and share all the information with your friends. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.